The stage lights once shone on Demi Lovato's face, a teenage star emerging from the Disney factory, where applause and admiring eyes followed her every step. Yet behind that dazzling smile were long lonely nights, where Demi felt lost in a world everyone thought was a dream. In 2018, the whole world was shaken when the news broke that Demi Lovato had been rushed to the hospital due to a drug overdose. The image of her lying motionless on a stretcher, surrounded by ambulance sirens, became a tragic moment seared into fans' memories. A star who once sang about strength and faith had fallen into the deepest pit of despair. It was a brutal contrast, from a shining girl, idol of millions, to a broken soul on the verge of losing herself. And the big question arose: what drove Demi Lovato into the darkness of depression, addiction, and hopelessness, forcing her to fight for her life? Before continuing this journey, if you believe this story deserves to be shared, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like. Because in every video, we don't just look back at the glory and shadows of fame, but also find faith that anyone can fall, and anyone can rise again. Before the storms of the mind arrived, Demi Lovato was once a symbol of American youth. Born in 1992, she first stepped onto the Disney Channel stage with Camp Rock, 2008, and instantly captured the hearts of audiences worldwide. Her powerful voice, radiant face, and magnetic presence made Demi not only a promising actress but also one of the fastest-rising pop stars. Within just a few years, Demi Lovato released a string of Billboard-topping hits, from Skyscraper, the iconic ballad of resilience, to Heart Attack, which exploded across international stages. Her music, a fiery blend of pop and rock, placed her alongside other great names of her generation such as Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez. Beyond music, Demi became the face of major advertising campaigns, sat on the judging panel of the X Factor USA, and was invited to perform at world-class events. On stage, she was a true warrior, her explosive vocals inspiring millions of fans to believe in the power of resilience and hope. The spotlight burned so brightly that many believed Demi Lovato was the perfect role model, a young girl who had risen from a difficult childhood, overcome bullying, and transformed into an international idol. The press hailed her as the voice of a generation, proof that determination could turn dreams into reality. Yet beneath that dazzling light, small cracks began to form. Behind the radiant performances and public smiles, another Demi, exhausted, lonely, and burdened by immense pressure, slowly emerged. And that was the beginning of her impending downfall. Behind the dazzling stage, Demi Lovato carried a heart full of scars. From a young age, she had to face shadows, divorced parents, a turbulent childhood, and the sense of isolation from being constantly targeted by school bullying. These experiences left in her an unfillable void, the haunting belief of never being good enough, never truly deserving of love. As she entered her teenage years, the pressure of fame only deepened those wounds. At just 16 or 17, while her peers worried about graduation exams, Demi stood before tens of thousands of spectators, carrying the expectations of a giant entertainment company and millions of fans. Endless tours, exhausting schedules, and the constant scrutiny of the media pushed her into a state of permanent tension. In later interviews, Demi admitted she felt trapped in her own success. Loneliness crept in even among the cheering crowds. Each time the performance ended and the lights went out, Demi faced a cold silence, where only the echoes of pressure and self-doubt remained. Friends and colleagues sometimes noticed the change. Demi became unpredictable, quick to anger, at times bursting with energy but soon after sinking into gloom. Early signs of depression and anxiety began to show, but in the harsh entertainment world, few had the patience to truly listen. Instead, Demi was often encouraged to be stronger, to keep smiling and keep giving to the audience. Those cracks were small at first, like tiny fractures on clear glass. But under the crushing weight of fame and expectations, the glass grew increasingly riddled with fissures. And then, with just one strong blow, it was bound to shatter. The peak of those cracks was a total collapse. In the summer of 2018, the world was stunned when news spread that Demi Lovato had been rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment. To the public, it was a shock, because just days earlier, she had stood on stage, singing with her powerful voice. But for Demi, that moment was the rawest exposure of a long-simmering crisis. She once described that period as walking in the dark, unable to see a way out. Each passing day was filled with exhaustion, her body breaking down, her mind in chaos, and her soul drowning in emptiness. Endless anxiety, helplessness, and a collapse of faith drove Demi into isolation. Despite having millions of fans, she had never felt lonelier. The mentality of having to be strong, a mask Demi had worn for years, had shattered. She no longer had the energy to hide her panic attacks and despair. To her loved ones, Demi was a star on the verge of collapse. In her own mind, she was a lost soul with no anchor. Her time in the hospital after the 2018 incident was the moment she directly confronted death. But instead of closing her story, that experience opened a bigger question. Do I really want to keep living? And if so, how will I live? It wasn't an easy question, but it became the turning point that forced her to face herself, without stage lights, without the mask of glory. That desperate stage not only marked Demi Lovato's fall to rock bottom, but also served as a wake-up call to the public. Behind the smiles and radiant songs, artists too can reach the most fragile limits of humanity. But from that abyss, a journey of rebirth began. Because only when one has faced death can they truly understand the desire to live. After the 2018 incident, Demi Lovato faced a clear choice: either continue sliding deeper into darkness, or begin the arduous journey of healing. This time, she chose life. Demi's rebirth did not come from an instant miracle, but from small, painful steps. She agreed to enter a treatment center, accepting the truth that she could not fight alone. Opening her heart to receive help was the most crucial turning point. As before, Demi had always tried to project a false sense of strength. Alongside doctors and therapists, Demi received quiet support from her family and close friends. They not only kept her physically safe, but patiently stayed by her side during the days when her spirit sank to its lowest. In many interviews, Demi said, "What keeps me in this world is not the stage, but the love of those who truly see me, a human being, not a star." Rebirth for Demi also meant learning to forgive herself. She began writing music again, but no longer hid her vulnerability. The songs in her album and the documentary Dancing with the Devil, 2021, became proof of her courage to confront inner darkness, transforming it into art. Demi neither sugar-coated nor denied the past. She accepted it as part of her path. At the same time, Demi took part in mental health awareness campaigns, openly sharing her experiences to break down social stigma. This act was not only a way to give hope to others but also a form of therapy for herself, turning pain into the power of community. The journey of rebirth is not a straight line, but a series of steps forward and back. What makes the difference is that Demi chose to walk toward the light. And that choice, day by day, pulled her out of the depths of despair. After months of treatment and confronting herself, Demi Lovato gradually entered a new phase, rebirth, but not in the way the public once knew. If in the past she strained to maintain the image of a perfect star, now Demi chose honesty, even if it revealed her fragility. Returning to music, Demi did not chase glamorous trends but focused on telling her own story. The album Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over, 2021, was a sincere confession, from the moments of downfall to the journey of rediscovering the light. Music was no longer a cloak of glory, but a form of therapy helping Demi heal each crack within her. She also changed her way of life, prioritizing physical health, practicing meditation and yoga, and learning to set boundaries for herself. On social media, Demi no longer shared endless, smiling images, but dared to post everyday moments, sometimes vulnerable, sometimes playful, as an ordinary person. It was her way of affirming, a star also has the right to live authentically, to be tired, and to be healed. Beyond art, Demi actively engaged in charitable activities, especially campaigns raising awareness about mental health. She became a voice for the younger generation struggling with pressure and anxiety, encouraging people to seek help rather than hide it. In her return to life, Demi Lovato was not the dazzling comeback of the past, but a more mindful journey of living. She no longer dreamed of endless spotlight, but longed for a life of balance, meaning, and sustainability. And this choice transformed Demi from a victim of pressure into a survivor with mature strength. When Demi Lovato made public her journey of downfall and rebirth, the public split into two clear reactions. One side felt deep empathy. They saw themselves in Demi, people who had battled depression, anxiety, and insecurity. For them, Demi's courage to speak out was an act of bravery, helping break the wall of silence that often surrounds mental health. Many fans wrote that Demi's story gave them the strength to seek therapy or open up to loved ones. But there was also no shortage of criticism, with some saying she had ruined her own career, that a star must be strong and responsible before the public. Such comments exposed a long-standing prejudice. Society often demands perfection from celebrities, forgetting that they are also human, with the right to be vulnerable. What's remarkable is that, over time, the balance shifted toward understanding. When Demi released her documentary Dancing with the Devil, many viewers were moved by her raw truth and unfiltered honesty. From being judged, Demi transformed into a voice of empathy, forcing society to rethink how it treats those struggling with mental illness. The story of Demi Lovato became part of a larger conversation, that mental health is just as important as physical health, and that everyone, famous or not, deserves the chance to heal. Demi Lovato's story is not a simple journey of falling and then winning. It is a true human spiral. There is glory, collapse, despair, and then the longing to live again. What makes this journey special is not that Demi is a global star, but that it reflects a universal truth. Anyone can fall, and everyone deserves a chance to heal. Looking at Demi today, a more mature person who knows how to set boundaries, who chooses peace instead of blinding lights, we see that rebirth does not always mean returning to the top, but sometimes simply finding oneself in serenity. And perhaps, that is the message this story leaves for us all. In a world full of pressure, strength does not lie in hiding pain, but in daring to face it, daring to seek help, and daring to give ourselves a second chance. And what about you? What do you see in Demi Lovato's journey? Fragility, courage, or a mirror teaching us to love ourselves more? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe stories of rebirth like this deserve to be heard, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and join us on the journey of finding light in the darkness.